So people think that mobile games are going to basically run consoles into the ground. Let me explain to you why this is something that will not happen. You see, there are three things that video games do not suffer from. That currently pretty much every single mobile game in the world does. The first one is saturation. There is way too much saturation on the mobile market. If you look at it, there's around 50,000 new apps every year. That's more than what the game industry's made, I'm pretty sure. In 4 years, mobile games have not only reached the number, but far surpassed it. Now, of course, this comes to the problem of flooding. It's not the kind of flooding that you're thinking with the water levels and all that. No. I'm talking that somebody puts something up on the App Store, it goes up, and then within a couple of seconds, it's gone. It's been swept away by the flood of other apps coming through. You see this all the time in the really big popular forums, especially when, say like in RuneScape, if a major bug appears, or a major change happens that gets everyone pissed off, or in League of Legends when the servers stop working, you cannot make a genuine thread because it'll get lost in that flood of other threads. The exact same thing happens on the App Store. I'm very well aware that a lot of games have this, but not to a big rate. I mean, if you look on Steam, you'd be lucky to get like maybe 10 new games and apps up on there every now and then. Typically, you can see the newest releases, and of course they do a better job advertising it than Apple does, or any of the other mobile app stores do. The second one is copycatting. It's pretty fucking clear that there is absolutely no shame in copycatting. I mean, think about it. What is Angry Birds? It's just Crush the Castle with birds and pigs. What is Candy Crush? It's just Bejeweled with candy. And I can say the word candy and not get copyrighted or whatever, so joke's on you, King. Everything is just... There's no shame. There is no shame in the mobile market in terms of copycatting. If they want to copycat something, fuck it, I'll do it. They will happily copycat things. But if you copycat things in the consoles and such, it becomes very apparent, and of course it gets taken down. I don't see how, why would I want to throw away consoles for mobile games when it is oversaturated and full of copycats? And there's a third reason as well. This one is something that mobile games have tried to grasp, but they've never held. Legacy. Mobile games are incapable of holding a long-lasting legacy. Angry Birds, for example, had a legacy, but it's dying out. Not a lot of people care about Angry Birds anymore. Candy Crush is going to have a short-lived legacy. Anything Zynga's made has had a short-lasting legacy. Most of these are usually like mobile games or something like that. I know Zynga has used like Facebook games and such, but they moved to mobile games, and look what's happened to them. They are in a heap of shit. Legacy is what keeps games going. Legacy is what makes us think back to those days when you were young, just sitting on the floor, playing some Sonic the Hedgehog, Or you spend nights with your family playing through the Tomb Raider games, like I did when I was much, much younger. Console games have a sort of magic to them that basically makes them long-lasting. Talk to people about Zelda, they'll remember Ocarina. Talk to people about Mario or Sonic, they'll remember the originals and the rivalry they shared. We talk to people about Call of Duty, and people will remember the time when they didn't just copy and paste shit and be boring as hell and just throw story completely out the window. You remember that one? Yeah, Call of Duty 4, last real good Call of Duty game? Anybody remember that? Games have legacies. But mobile games cannot capture those legacies because they're so limited, because they're on something that just doesn't work. I'm sorry, touchscreen controls do not beat out a controller or a keyboard and mouse. Being able to play something wirelessly does not beat wired. I might also be saying that as well, partly because I fucking hate wireless, and I will do a rant about that at one point. But as far as I'm concerned, wired beats wireless. Not only that, but yeah, sure, it's expensive to make a console game nowadays. But you have more resources. You can do more. Can you picture Grand Theft Auto 5 on the phone? First most, how the fuck would you control that? Second most, would it be as immersive? Another thing to say, like, people are saying another reason why mobile games will kill console games is because it's expensive to run on the console. Yeah, it is. It is. It costs like, what, 100 million to make Grand Theft Auto 5? This next statement is I'm very well aware is going to make me sound like a very, very big elitist, but at the same time, it is the truth. What about PC games? They can be relatively cheap to make. They don't have such a high bar that the consoles have. You honestly think that mobile games are going to be able to not only shut down consoles, but outcompete the PC gaming market? Need I remind you that, while yes, PC games have had their share of shit, they've had some really unique games, especially from indie developers. We've had great games like Minecraft. We've had games like... Let me try and find one, because I am looking on the Steam shop right now. We've had games like Nidhogg, The Stanley Parable. Let me see if there's any other games. Faster Than Light is another one. The Armor series with DayZ and all that stuff. League of Legends, Dota 2. Left 4 Dead 2, PlanetSide 2, Civilization. You're honestly telling me that console gamers are going to move to mobile games when they have so much great stuff, and of the same great stuff and more on the PC? No, they are not going to go to mobile games because mobile games are already dying out. A lot of people don't care about them anymore. Many mobile game developers are now going into indie PC developers. Why? Because it's oversaturated, their games are at too much risk of being copycatted, and their games don't have a legacy. And as far as I'm concerned, mobile games will never have that lasting legacy that console or PC games will have. 10 years from now, we'll be talking about Team Fortress 2 still. 10 years from now, we'll still be talking about Ocarina of Time or A Link to the Past. We'll still be remembering the old Sonics. We'll still be remembering Tomb Raider and Call of Duty. We won't be remembering Angry Birds. We won't be remembering Candy Crush. The reason why is because they don't have the same legacy that these console games and that these PC games hold. I personally don't know a single mobile game that has had a legacy lasting as long as these games. And you could argue that it's because the mobile game market is small. Well, Angry Birds was there right near the beginning, and it has fallen out of favour quite quickly. Quite quickly. Farmville was all the craze. Who gives a fuck about Farmville anymore? Games like these, mobile games, they don't have the legacy. And there's too many problems with the App Store. There's too much copycatting, and the main thing, that legacy. Something that everyone will remember. Something that makes it memorable, that brings back the nostalgia, that will make people remember fun moments involving these games or these, fond memories within the game. I still remember the first time I beat Alundra 2. I remember how terrified I was of the final boss of Tomb Raider 3 when I was a kid. I would never remember that if it was a mobile game. Because it wouldn't have the same kind of feel that consoles and PC games give. So, are mobile games going to kill the console market? And are they just going to go to mobile games? Of course not. That's a completely stupid idea. And honestly, if you believe that, you seem to be forgetting that there's an alternative, the PC. I highly doubt that people are going to go straight to mobile games when the PC can be quite cheap to work for. I'm very well with that. I'm still well aware that I'm sounding very elitist to the PC, but hey. I'm somewhat true, even if I am being elitist. I will catch you guys next time. And just remember, mobile games ain't going to be taking over anything. Except for your life. And your wallet, if you decide to.